Hey friends, welcome to today's workout. So for today's workout, I'm going to be using my little mini bench and some moderate weights. We're doing a time-based format. You're definitely going to get sweaty. There's some options to jump around, but as always, I give you the alternative version to just keep your feet on the floor. Now, you might notice in the lower half of the screen the date on this video. So this was almost 1 year ago today, as you guys are seeing this. So I am on vacation, so I needed to pull something from the archives, but this is taking us in a direction that we're going in the month of February. So enjoy, and I'll see you in the workout. Okay, let's get going. All right, so I'm actually gonna start, you guys, with my low box. You don't have a low box, don't stress. You can just do this on the floor, but I'm gonna be doing a forward lunge to my box whilst holding on to my TRX. All right, and I'm just gonna go forward and back. I'm gonna stay on the same leg. You might be like, why the heck would she step on a box? Because it puts me through a fuller range of motion than doing it on the floor. It's pretty simple. And by the way, if you ever want to get any of these boxes, I found this one on Amazon for 35 bucks. So it's a pretty inexpensive investment. But I've been told by my other half that it's like, no more equipment. Not in there anyway. I'm like, yeah, it's a little tight. Everything, it's kind of one of those things where everything has a place to go for the most part. All right, we could do 3 more here. And then I'm going to take it to the other side, even myself out. Yeah, so being gone for last week, I would like to say that, I got up and I did all these body weight workouts, but that was not the case. It was just way too busy for that. So this is my first one back in a while. And it's always kind of one of those things, when you've come back from a hiatus, you're like, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm just going to see. I'm going to see. All right, here's the last one. All right, lunges done. Take a big swing of those arms, big circle. What you're really going for here, you guys, make sure that you're opening up the chest. I always give you that analogy of the sweatshirt, right? But you want to draw those elbows back enough that you can feel the stretch across the tops of your kind of pectoral muscles into your shoulder. So as I said before, we're going to be a little more heavily emphasized on cardio, lower body, core, definitely a little upper body, but not a ton. And I'm just telling you that just to kind of manage expectations out of the gate. Here's the last one. Excellent. Then I want you to take your hands forward, try not to hit my TRX. Take your hands forward, round your back. So when you're reaching forward like this, I want you to feel like almost like somebody's pulling your hands, and then you're going to open up. So round and pull back, and round and pull back. Warming up those upper back muscles. Here's 5. Last 2. And last one. Sweet. All right. Take the feet wide, you guys. Take the feet wide, hips distance apart. This one's called a Cossack lunge. So basically all you're doing is a side lunge, but it's not a stepping into the lunge, but rather your feet stay in that same position. So toes face forward. This hip that you're moving into is going to press way back. Okay, so I do it quite well on this side. When I get to the other side, it's not quite so good looking, but I do my best. You can put your arm out in front. If you are feeling like you can go a little further, or you want to go a little further, try spinning the foot away from the floor. There you go. I like this one because it hits a couple notes, right? We get that inner thigh stretch of the straight leg. Working into that hinge category where we're more glute dominant. I'm trying to challenge myself to get a little lower on each rep. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Here's the last one. All right, when you are done with that, go back to whatever side you started with, but you're going to turn over that leg. Place your hands either on the floor or on a bench. I kind of got a little of both here. Drop the back knee down for a hip flexor stretch. Shift everything forward when you do that. I want you to feel that stretch like right down the front of your thigh. And then you're going to straighten the front leg, toe away from the ground. So inhale, drop the knee down, look up. Exhale, press back, hamstring stretch. All right, here's 3 more. Last 2. All right, we're going to go right on over to the other side. So just go ahead and switch feet. If you struggle to straighten that front leg, try elevating your hands on, I mean, honestly, even a bench like this would work. Don't feel like I guess what I'm saying is don't feel like you have to touch the floor. Here, I got my low foam roller. Just doing 8 or 10 of these. All right. Last one. Okay, we're done. Our work is done. Are we good? We ready to rock? All right. So normally on Wednesdays we do timed sets, but I'm going to actually scrap the time set thing today. Kind of let you guys work at your own pace. In general, when I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, my cycles are about a minute, so I break them up, work rest ratio that way. So if you're like, oh, I want to just keep moving for the whole time, you absolutely can. So I'm going to give you a rep range, which is typically what I do on Friday. We're going to be starting things out with just a really simple superset, you guys. So that first superset, I'm going to take my TRX down. First superset, if you have a low bench, you can absolutely use it. This little guy. If you don't, you just mimic it on the floor. All right. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start up here. We're going to get the heart rate up. We're going to be going from this. We're going to be going back down on the ground. So clear yourself a space and we'll go from there. Thumbs up if we're ready. All right. So come with me. We'll just do this together. 1, 2. So again, this can be done on the floor just as easily, but the height gives you a little extra something. All right. Wherever you guys are right now, count me out 20 more. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, and time. How'd you do? All right, come on down to the ground. Plank position. Basic plank position. Anybody who does not want to be on their high arms, forearms is your thing. Okay. From this position, you guys, let me show you this slow-mo and let me show you it more up to speed. So slow-mo is just walking in and walking back out. Walking in and walking back out. If you want to go a little bit more dynamic, you're going to jump in. Now remember, this isn't a tuck. You're jumping to bear squat, stabilizing through the hips. So if you're doing the walking in, it looks like this. If you're doing the jumping in, it looks like that. Come with me when you're ready. If you're going to do the walk in, might I encourage you to alternate your leading side? All right, wherever you are, maybe 10 more. 10. Oh, I feel my abs from yesterday. I wasn't sure, Len. Nice. Everybody up. Yes, we did a lot of core yesterday. And while I was doing it, I'm like, I think I'm going to feel this tomorrow. And when I woke up, I didn't feel it, but I felt it on that. Isn't that funny when that happens? All right, we're coming up for round 2 here. So in my mind, you guys, I counted 40 reps. And in my count, looked like 1, 2. All right, you with me? Let's all go together. 40 seconds, 40 reps. 1. There's 10. Nice and even with that pace. Now, mind you, if you're like, Jen, I don't want to go that fast. It's fine. But I would just say this, you're probably going to have to cut down on the amount of reps. Okay, you're going to have to cut down on the amount of reps. 25. 30. Whew. Time or done. Whatever comes first. My guess is that's probably about 45 seconds. Let me hit this. Hang on a second, guys. All right, you got those bear jumps again. Let me give you a rep range to choose from. I'm hearing an alert on my computer, and I don't like it. All right, plank position. Jump or walk to bear. Jump or walk to bear. If you're jumping, 15 to 20. Okay, 15 to 20. If you're walking in, try 8 each side. So walk in, walk out. Couple key points, guys. Shins parallel to the floor. That's it for this girl. All right. Last round. Cardio. I don't even know what to call these. So when I write them in my notes, I'm like, shuffles off the step. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, right? Side lunges off the step, something like that. I'm going to elevate my height on my bench just because I'm feeling spicy that way. Now that I've gone through it twice. Again, on the ground, a little slower is totally fine too. Wherever you are, I want you to shoot for your personal range, which I think is going to be between 30 and 40 reps. Let's do it. 1. It's amazing how this heart rate, no BS. There's 20. There's 30. And time. You got it, guys. Well done. All right, we got our bear squat, bear jump. Last one. Walking, jumping, whatever you got. Here we go. We a little out of breath? Or is it just me? All right, here we go. I'm like, what? Am I getting out of shape here? It's what 10 days off will do. Now, I walked a fair amount, but not quite the same. 5, 6, 7. The idea here is to stop yourself, right? To stop. Knees close to the floor. Again, if you're doing this on your elbows, get nice and low. All right, there we are. There we are. I love it. We're off with a bang. All right. Going into our second grouping. Amazing what you can do, you guys, right, with a little body weight. Okay. Next up, you can get your bench out of the way. And just PS, there is going to be a little jumping. This one was programmed for me in my PT program. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to totally use this in my Wednesday class. They're going to love it. Very similar to something else that I've done with you guys before. So let me give you a couple of options because I know not everybody's going to want to do exactly this. The main move is 3 jumps forward and then coming back. So you guys have done this with me where we do the broad jump and then you jug back. You with me? So if you're like, I don't want to do that, Jen, you can give me a little, like a pulsing air squat and do that instead. So you're just staying in one spot. But for me, I'm training that forward motion. So mine is going to look like 3 jumps forward. 1, 2, 3, back 2. So forward 3, back 2. I'm going to do 10 rounds of it. All right. If you guys are going to pulse squat, I think you're probably going to be more in that like 20 to 30 range. All right, let's do it. Remember, soft landing. Actually, I'm going to do 3 back. I need that to get back. Push. So remember, soft landing is the key. Take a peek at your knees too, you guys. Again, part of the reason why this is in my program for knee stability, to train what we call deceleration, which is that slowing down and sort of sticking the landing. Forward, I got 3 more to go. 1, 2, 3. I work a little harder to get back there. 1, 2, 3. Surprisingly, feel those hamstrings a little bit, right? Wow. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. All right, guys, we're coming back down the ground. Again, if you don't want to be on your, you don't want to be on your high arms, you're going to be on forearms. We're going to take it into a saw spider. Okay. Remember, saw is forward, back. Spider is knee to elbow. Linny knows we did these yesterday, but we're adding a saw on today. My apologies ahead of time if it's really brutal. All right, come on down. With the saw, remember, forearms. Butt nice and low. Press back, forward. Let's start here together. 5, 4. We'll start to weave in the spider on that 5th rep. So 1, 2, 3. 5 more each side. Remember, take those shoulders forward. I know they're starting to feel this. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Okay. All right then. Right? Okay. We ready to jump again? I'm gonna turn my heater down a little bit toasty in here. So that's the thing, it's like trying to take the chill off first thing in the morning and then, all right, we're doing that jump again. I'm gonna face the other way to do this time. I don't know, just because. All right, you guys, here we go. 10 rounds, jump 3, back 3. Ready? Begin when you're ready. In my mind, for what this is worth, I'm really trying to propel myself backwards to get to on my backward jump, get as far as I can. So I'm back in that same starting place. See if I can do it in two. Almost, but not quite. That distance definitely takes effort. I work hard for that one. Almost fell. Done. I'm just thankful to be jumping again. Okay, we got our saw spider. Very simple movement. Forward back. I know we're a little out of breath. So if you need a second to come down, there is no rush. Okay. So you need a second, take it, come back down when you're ready. Like a little recovery time. If you are ready and you're like, I want to go now, go now. Okay. So the first round, I had you guys do 5 saws just to kind of grease the groove. But if you're ready to dive right in with the spider, no issues there. Okay, 10 each side. Ah! Last one. Woo! All right, my friends. How'd we do? Okay, we're coming back up in those triple jumps again for the final round. Blocks of 10. Blocks of 10. Is this where I tell you jumping is good for you? Yeah, because it is, honestly. Great for bone density, reaction time, power, which we lose, by the way, as we get older. I don't want that to happen to you on my watch, which is why we do it. I do it for me, I do it for you. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I got real quiet. I know I'm really trying to focus on my landing, on my form. I'm at 10 right here. Okay, last set of saws. I don't know why I'm saying that. Get you guys still jumping around. I love it. Anybody wear their watch today? You know how many steps you've taken so far? Probably a little more than normal. All right, here we go with the saw. No, now I wasn't going to bring attention to any participants in particular, but what I was going to say is if you think this fitness thing doesn't work, all you have to look at are your cohorts, Don, Melinda, and Roger. It was like, over 65, over 70 does not have to mean what we used to think it means, right? But you got to put in the work as they do and have for years. Let the evidence speak for itself, right? No, that is actually, I think about that all the time. I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he was an athlete back in the day, but he just stopped. He's like, yeah, I hate to work out. I'm like, well, you don't have to like it, but it really makes a difference with how your body ages. So I don't know. Make the choice.
I remember when 65 seemed really old.
I remember when 50, somebody put up a joke the other day. It was like, when I was a teenager, 50 sounded ancient, 55. And I'm like, wow, I'm almost there. What happened? What happened? But this, all kidding aside, we know this stuff is good for us, even though it's not always the most enjoyable in the moment, right? Always better for it at the end. All right, you guys, we're gonna go one more round, okay? One more block of cardio and body weight, which is more core focused. I want you to, if you guys want to grab the bench, you can grab the bench again. I'm actually not going to use my bench for this, but I'm going to think in terms of as if I were jumping up to a bench. So instead of, you guys know, like the pogo, the like lateral ski jumps that we do, what I'm going to be doing basically is I'm going to jump forward, to the side and then forward. So side, forward, back, side. So you're basically making a little shape, like an L shape, right? So side, forward, back to the home base, side, back to home base, forward. So just making an L. So let's talk about how many reps we're going to do. And if you have a box, you guys, and you want to do it with the box, this is a little tougher because the jumping down, excuse me if I'm not very well, that's why I'm not doing it. The jumping back is really hard. It takes a lot of effort. So I don't want anybody to trip like I just did. So unless you're really, really confident, maybe leave the box out of it. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to 10. 6. Lateral motion. It can be big too. You can make it bigger if you really feel like getting a little more sassy with it, which is where you're going to find me, working on the pushing back and the lateral. All right, that is it. Done. All right, guys, heart rate down. Coming at you for some core. You're going to be on the ground. So when we get on the ground like this, on our back, if your heart rate is high, that can feel like it's a lot, right? And I get that. So if you don't want to do that, you can literally sit at the end of your bench and do this from here. You hear where I'm going with that? So if you have a bench nearby and you're like, I don't want to get on the ground, just sit on the edge of the bench. We're going to do a V-sit variation. Alternating legs, both legs together. Have a peek. So from here, 1, 2, both legs come in. Notice I'm touching my hands underneath me. My feet are away from the ground. 1, 2, both feet up. 1, 2, both feet up. All right, guys, we're in this together. I haven't even given you the count yet. All right, from here, you guys, I want you to do 8 more, okay? Wherever you are, 8 more. 1. Which, let's face it, is a lot. It's a lot. So if you need to bag out before then, it's okay. 6 more. I'm starting to fatigue myself. I love that, though. I like it when something's hard. I like it when it's difficult for me to do it, right? Like, okay, I got to really focus. It tells me this, not that I'm getting worse, but that I'm willing to work to be better, right? It's all in the perspective. I got 3 more. Oh, Lenny, talk to me. You feeling your abs from yesterday? Okay. Oh, Lynn was the only one on with me live, and I'm like, I think I feel my abs from this workout. That was yesterday. It starts innocently enough, and then the next thing you know, you're like, whoo, I'm feeling that. All right, you guys, we're doing our little lateral jumps again, okay? So as I was trying to communicate, I'm trying to move right and left as far as I can. It's not like this little casual jump. Working on my lateral stability as I do that. Obviously, I get a little extra cardio boost to boot. Okay, so feet together, side, center, forward, back. One grouping of 10. I'll do the count. We all ready to go? All right, here we go. Soft knees. 1. So it's going to take you longer and the bigger jump you do. 2. 3. So every time I complete a set, 4. We're almost there, guys. Hang in there. Dig in. 8. 10. And done. Whew. Yeah, there was a few extras this time around. Okay. Oh. Again, if it's too soon for you to get yourself on the ground, take a minute. Sit at the end of a bench. As you are ready. So, you guys know my running joke about how every time my husband comes in to work out this mat, he shifts it the other direction. I think he might have lied to me yesterday. And you know how I know? I'm going to start this. You know how I know? I said, "Did you work out?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "The mat's in the same place." And the spin bike is still in my settings. I'm like, "I think you weren't telling me the truth, babe." All right, here we go. I told you I had to buy him someone else's program. Not that he doesn't trust me, but I just figured it was better coming from someone else. I'm sure anybody in here who's ever been in a long-term relationship or a marriage knows that. Like your spouse, you could say something to your spouse 20 times and then suddenly someone else says it and it's like the first time they've heard it. I'm like, are you kidding me with that? All right, guys. I didn't give you the count, but we're basically going for block it's 3 reps per one count, and we're going to try to get to 10. Right now I'm at 8. 9. Definitely got to work it. All right, it's my last one. Yeah. Yikes. Wow. Guys. One more round. All right. We're going. So you know it. I don't have to tell you. All right, we're going to try for 10. Positive self-talk. I can do this. Steve Lowe's already out ahead of us. So here we go. Notice too when you land. Right, I'm having to coach myself with this too, making sure that my knees are not rolling in. I see this And clients sometimes as well. I was working with a client earlier this week. I'm like, hey, watch that knee, right? She might not notice it. You might not notice it. So I'm asking you to notice it. Try to stay in your midfoot. Knees tracking over your ankles. Training like athletes, guys, the sport of life. Here we go. Okay, one more block for me, and then I'm done. Woo! Ah. Okay, you guys with me? All right, we're rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Alternating V up, one leg at a time. Block of 8 to 10, okay? I know on the third round it might get dicey. Do the best you can. 1. Woo! Oh, starting to peter out. I'm not ashamed to admit it, that's for sure. All right, I think I got one more in me. That could have been 9. I don't even know. All I know is that it was adequate. It was adequate to do the job. Bench right here. You can do this on the floor. You can do it on the bench. Just figure 4 for those glutes. So really quick while I have you, I'm actually traveling next week, but it's my intention to run class. Okay, it's my full intention to run class. Helps to keep me accountable as well. I am in the same time zone. That said, I'm going to do a test of the Wi-Fi before Wednesday just to make sure, because it is Mexico and sometimes you don't know. My husband, when we're there, is working and running Zoom calls, so it doesn't ever appear to be an issue. So I'm going to try my best. I'm not dragging weights down there, but there's no reason why I can't mimic it for you guys. So, we've become creatures of habit and are at this stage of life. I'm like, I do try to like do trips that are places I've never been before, but we just keep going back to the same place because it's easy. We know it. All you got to do is just show up. You don't have to get the lay of the land anymore. All right, those glutes. I'm going to do a little side stretch here while I'm in the chair. Again, you can do this if you are on the ground. It's going to be a little harder to simulate this, but you could do it in a squat position. So I'm going to hinge forward. You can see I'm touching my feet. I have this arm inside my knee, and I'm just going to do a little side rotation. You could absolutely do this without the chair too, by the way. I just felt like taking a load off. All right, here's the last one. We're going to come up. Take your arms up over your head. Hands touching like so, okay? And as you come back around, I want you to spin your palms so your thumbs are facing up. Try to come up into your mid-back. I know that might be difficult for some. Okay, just pause there for a second. Open up the chest. Back up and around. As you are opening up your hands, you're going to see I'm right about here flipping my hands down. So thumbs down, come back around. Again, if your shoulders feel a little wonky, hopefully they feel better. This is a great mobility exercise at the beginning of a workout, although I don't do it a lot at the beginning, mainly because I think most of us are kind of tight. It feels worse at the beginning before things are warm. So Figure why not just do it now? I'm just going to hold here, kind of press my elbows back a little bit, get that stretch through the anterior delt. Whew. All right.